$200,000 for one night, he said. I stood there, frozen, unable to believe what I'd just heard. I clutched the towel around me like it was the only thing anchoring me to reality. My stepdad, Adam, stood just a few feet down the hallway, his eyes locked onto mine with this disturbing blend of confidence and desperation. It felt like he had planned this out, rehearsed it, even. I couldn't speak. At first I was too stunned, but when I did, it came out as a yell, thick with disbelief, rage, and absolute disgust. What the hell is wrong with you? I screamed, backing away as fast as I could. My name is Michelle. I'm 33 now, married with 2 beautiful kids, and thankfully far removed from the person I was in that hallway. Back then, I was 25 fresh, out of college, buried in student loan debt, and working as an assistant professor at a community college. I was trying hard to build a career, barely scraping enough together to keep the lights on. My dad had moved overseas when I was a teenager and basically vanished from our lives. My mom, Julia, married Adam when I was 20, and let's just say, if it were up to me, he wouldn't have been in my life at all. But my mom adored him, or at least acted like she did. He was 45, wealthy, and gave her everything she wanted. My mom was a few years older than him. That afternoon is where it all began. I was spending the weekend at my mom's house, something I rarely did because being around her was never easy. Our relationship had been strained, especially after my twin sister died when we were kids. Still, with money being tight, I figured staying there for a couple of days might help cut down on grocery costs, and maybe, just maybe, we could have a decent conversation for once. I had gone out for a jog. The heat was brutal, and by the time I got back, I was dripping in sweat. There was a note on the kitchen counter. Mom was visiting a friend, and Adam had gone grocery shopping. Perfect. I figured I had the place to myself. I jumped straight into the shower. Didn't even bother grabbing clothes since I thought no one would be back anytime soon. Wrapped in a towel, I headed toward the bedroom to grab my clothes. I didn't even consider that someone might have come back early. But when I turned the corner, there he was, Adam, just standing there at the end of the hallway. My heart dropped. He wasn't supposed to be there. And the look he gave me, it wasn't normal. At first, I thought maybe I'd startled him or maybe he'd startled me, but then he smiled, and it wasn't a friendly kind of smile. It was something else. Before I could react, he stepped close. You're beautiful. You know that, he said, his voice low, like he was feeling me out. I froze. I didn't know what to say, what to do. My brain was screaming at me to move to, get out of there, but my legs wouldn't budge. Then he said it, the words that made my stomach churn. $200,000 for one night, he repeated, like he was proposing a businessdeal.com. Casual, like it was totally normal to say something like that to your stepdaughter. That's when I realized he was serious. Every filthy word, he meant it. I felt like all the air had been sucked from the room. My thoughts scattered, but I forced something out. What the hell did you just say? I asked, my voice barely a whisper, shaky and foreign to my own ears. He didn't even flinch. That disgusting smirk stayed fixed on his face. You heard me, he said with a shrug, like it was no big deal. Think about it, Michelle. $200,000. You could wipe your loans. Start over. No one has to know. That's when the rage came. It surged so fast my hands were trembling. Are you out of your mind? I shouted, backing up. What kind of person do you think I am? He didn't move. Didn't look ashamed. If anything, he seemed annoyed like I was the one making it weird. Calm down, he said, infuriatingly casual. It was just an offer. No need to blow it out of proportion. No need to... He was trying to buy me, and I was supposed to calm down. I turned, ran into my room, slammed the door, and locked it behind me. My back against the wood. I tried to breathe. My heart was pounding so loud I could feel it in my ears. I was trapped, not just in the room, but in the situation. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to scream, cry, break something, but more than anything, I wanted to be anywhere else. And the worst part, I had no one to call. My mom, she'd never believe me. She never had. She'd probably spin it all back on me like she always did. I curled up on the floor, hugging my knees, mind racing. Minutes dragged by. Through the wall, I could hear the low murmur of the TV adem acting like nothing happened. The gall of it made me sick. Then I heard the front door open. Mom was home. Relief hit me, but only for a second. It was quickly followed by dread. What would I say? Would she even hear me out? With clammy hands, I unlocked the door and stepped into the hallway. She was setting her purse down. Adam, reclining on the couch like it was just any other evening. I swallowed hard and found my voice. Mom, I need to talk to you. Alone. She turned toward me, her brow furrowed. What's wrong? She asked, more annoyed than worried. I glanced at Adam. He was watching like it was entertainment. I hated how calm he looked, like he already knew how this would play out. Gesturing toward the kitchen, I said, Please. Just in private. Mom sighed but followed me. I leaned against the counter, trying to form the words. Mom, I began, my voice breaking. Adam said something to me. Something vile. Her face didn't show concern, just irritation. What are you talking about? She asked. He offered me money, $200,000 to sleep with him. The words felt like acid. I braced myself for shock, for outrage, but what I got made my stomach drop. She laughed, Teddy. Oh, come on, Michelle. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not lying. I insisted, louder. He said it in the hall just now. But she was already shaking her head. You're unbelievable, she snapped. Always trying to stir things up. Always desperate for attention. I stared, stunned. My own mother, again, dismissing me like I was nothing but a drama queen. I'm telling the truth, I said, louder now. But she raised her hand to silence me. Enough, Michelle. Let's see what Adam has to say. She stormed into the living room. My heart raced. I followed. Adam, she barked. Michelle claims you said something gross, something about offering her money for ... you know. He leaned back, concern written all over his face. If he was the victim. Julia, he said softly, it's the opposite. She came out of the bathroom in a towel. It felt like she was trying to get my attention. I didn't want to upset you, so I didn't say anything, but Now she's twisting everything. What? I shouted, stepping forward. That's not true. And, but he kept calm, acting like he was the reasonable one. I swear. Julia, he said, I was going to let it go, but I can't let her make these false claims. I turned to Mom, hoping begging she'd see through his act. But her glare was already fixed on me. You come into my home and this is how you behave, she snapped. How dare you, Michelle? You're taking his side, I yelled, my voice cracking. He's lying to your face. But she wasn't listening. She turned to him and rested a hand on his shoulder. I'm so sorry you had to deal with this, she said. That was it. I stormed to the door, hands trembling. Forget it, I muttered. Believe whatever you want. I'm done. Tears stung my eyes as I grabbed my things and walked toward the door. Behind me, her voice rang out, cold and sharp. I didn't expect much from you, Michelle, but I never thought you'd be a... You dare? I said, turning to face her. Voice low and trembling. You want to believe him? Fine. But don't you ever call me that? She just turned away, arms crossed, dismissing me like I was nothing. I stepped outside and slammed the door behind me.